What's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. So, hey y'all, happy Monday, no, December 5th. Get your month right. Um, and I wanted to come on here and talk to you about something that I've been thinking about. I really started thinking about it a little bit more today. Like, y'all know I'm down here in the country that's just outside the country, like one step below what normal country would be. That's where I am. Oh, I took a little video coming home this evening in my truck. I took a little video coming down the road just so y'all could see like the utter pitch dark blackness. Okay? Nothing but the lights from your car. That's all you see for miles and miles and miles. And you have to drive a certain speed because the deer just set dinner tables right in the middle of the road. Like, it's crazy. Who builds a house in the woods like seriously, if you're not making moonshine or you know what I mean, running a small militia group, like why are you back here? I don't. That's the last of it, y'all. Anyway, so I want to talk to you guys about something. My grandparents don't have cable. My grandfather thinks it's a ripoff. And what he has is this digital air. And so the channels that he get are, I mean, basic, basic ABC. I don't know if it gets CBS or not. We've never tried. All we ever watch is Grit, which is Walker Texas Ranger. Andy Griffith, every Western known to man. And we get Bounce, which is African American station. So I do get to see Bernie Mac show reruns, and that makes me feel good. I like Bernie. I used to love that show. And so we're watching, putting the Christmas tree up, and Walker Texas Ranger is on because it is always on. Um, and the lady who plays the district attorney goes on this compound where this young girl who has been brainwashed by this occult leader who thinks of himself as God and the compound as heaven. Her father, as a part of his plea bargain, says someone has to help my daughter. Please go talk to my daughter and see, just check it out. And she's my only child. I lost her mom. Please help me. So this is why this woman, who is Walker's love interest, goes to this compound to try and talk with the daughter. And of course, the man who's over the compound just got her like right there. He's like, what you need to talk to her about? What? Anything? What? Go ahead, I'm listening. He's got her like right there. And she's just like, So she's just now like 17. She's pregnant as Jaybird. And, she's essentially been brainwashed. So she's just like, So she asked the man, father asked me to check it out and just wants to make sure she's okay. Well, he says, you can see she's okay. And she asked a couple of questions about the father. The father had been beaten up while he was out there trying to get her back. Well, I just want to make sure that, you guys jumped on the father. He said, no, that's not what happened. He fell down trying to climb into his truck. And she was like, oh, okay. He said, well, were you satisfied? And she was like, one more thing. I just want to talk to her alone, if you don't mind. So he was like, oh yeah, that's cool. And they closed the gates in front of her. And she thinks the girl's gonna walk out behind her and go out and they're gonna talk at her car. But he closed the gate before she could get out and was like, oh, you talk to her here. And she's like, "Are you crazy? You let me go. No, I'm gonna, I'm a district attorney." He's like, "Hey, I want to let you out, but, um, his goons were like holding her back, and she was like, "Get your hands." And he was like, "I want to let you out, but the gate's on a timer, and it's about 10,000 volts of electricity. That's why they were holding you back, so you wouldn't get hurt." She was like, "Well, open the gate." He's like, "Well, the gate's on a timer." She's like, "Okay, fine." So goes to commercial, comes back. When it comes back, she is coming out of the house from talking with the girl all night long because it's 6:30 a.m. and she's getting ready to leave. And she done spent the night there, y'all. She done spent the night there. Now, Walker, Texas Ranger was made back in the day. I'm not really sure why she didn't have a cell phone on her because I've seen them use cell phone. Granted, they're the big ones with the little flip down bottom on it. But I've seen them use cell phones on this show. I'm not really sure why she didn't have her cell phone, but okay, fine. Um, so she's coming out, she's talking to the girl, and the girl goes on back in. They've been up all night talking. This God person walks up to her. She's a Caucasian female and he's a Caucasian male. Okay, I didn't see. Really, the only black person I see on this show is his deputy, Walker's deputy partner. So anyway, y'all will see why I bring up color in a minute or race. Anyway, so uh, she's walking to her car. And he was like, "Well, hey, are you satisfied?" She was like, "Yep, I am. I'm satisfied." And he was like, "Okay, good. I'm glad. I hope you enjoyed your time here in heaven." She was like, "Yeah, I'm satisfied that you are guilty of grade A felony statutory rape, and I'm satisfied that you beat up her father, and that you are running a small militia group here, and that you guys are planning on doing something terroristic with all the guns and the militia meetings that you're having." She's going to get in her car. Like, they brought her car around. Like, she's getting in the car. And she lets him know she knows all of this stuff. And I'm like, why the flip flop? That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. The man locked you in the gate on purpose. Like, you, even no matter what he tell you, you could tell by the level of aggression and that's going on around there that, you know what I'm saying? This ain't no ordinary mother sucker. Okay? Okay? We know that already. Why the Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I know what y'all saying. I already know. It's a TV program. Hey, so serious. I mean, it's make believe. Okay, I understand that. But watching that made me reference back to one day back home. I was watching a program, like a reenactment program, which was about this man who was a serial rapist, and it was like the killer next door or something like that. And this woman who worked at this company, like true story, like full on true story, like this isn't, so this woman works at this company, this man, and they were friends. They used to eat lunch together all the time. After hearing this profile of a serial rapist, and this really vague sketch of the serial rapist, she realized it's her coworker, a guy she talked to at work all the time and went to lunch with, was this possibly this serial rapist. Well, one of the reasons why her and the guy got along so good was because he would sit next to her at their desk in their cubicles and talk about how bad his marriage was and everything. It was just terrible. This was part of the profile, was that there was some marital uh, things going on, you know, and so he would talk about all of these things and talk about his day and what he would do and things like that. So, like I said, from the profile and from the things that she had talked about him with at their desk, just casually, she realized that this was the guy that was the serial rapist. The last woman he raped, he ended up, I think, killing her. Something, something. Anyway, the rapes were very, very violent. Like he held a knife to their throats, and it was just very, very rough. So knowing all of this and everything, he decides he's going to leave his wife. He's telling her. She decides she's going to turn him in, but she wasn't really sure if it was him or not. She just had her suspicions. They get ready to go out for lunch. And I think he was either selling a property or he was thinking about renting that property. Anyway, he wants her to see it. So she's like, no, I really don't want to go anywhere else. Just go to lunch and get back. You're already always late coming back from lunch when you go by yourself. And she just basically didn't want to do it, but he talked her into it. So they leave and they go to this property, which is empty. Um, and he's showing her around and he's talking and she's questioning him about some things. And it's at this moment, they're upstairs in the bathroom, that she realizes that he is in fact this rapist. He is this rapist and this horrible behaving individual. And she's like, I can't believe that you're doing this. I can't believe that you're into this type of thing. And she goes to leave and go downstairs, and he grabs her shoulder and she is like, get your hands off of me. I know you've been raping. I've got proof that you've been doing such and such and such. And I know for a fact that blah, 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 blah. I'm going to go and tell the cops on you. And she goes to go downstairs. And of course, he mollywops the shit out of her. Like, it's not funny, but he ends up like stabbing her and pushing her down. So it's like, it was a miracle she survived. And all I can remember thinking was, why the flip wouldn't you just make it through that visit to the house? Why couldn't you just play it cool and be like, boy, you got a lot going on, don't you? But this is a beautiful condo. It's absolutely lovely. Now let's get back, because we got that meeting in 3. And pop on down them stairs and pop on out that door. And if you had to at that moment, you had a sense of panic, you could have ran across the street. Like, you could have took off running. Like, the dude. The dude, it worked with you. But at least get out of the house. Like, why would you stand at the top of the... Seriously? And tell this man... This is the woman telling it in her own voice. She got her face covered and all that because she don't want y'all to know who she really is, but she telling in her own voice what really happened. Now, she a professional and he a professional, working at the same doggone office. You don't have enough like survival skills, like basic self-preservation skills, to remove yourself from the situation before you... Like, it was more important for you to tell him right then and there all the shit you knew about him. Like, really? Like, I don't... You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm a Virgo. I think about things in a real black and white perspective. And um, I have a problem with weak people, period. Even though I know I'm super, super sensitive, I don't really consider that weakness. What I consider to be weakness is not being able to stand up for yourself, like not having the wherewithal to stand up for yourself. Like, to me, that's weak. So now let me say this. I always take up for people. I don't have no problem with that. But if you like are completely okay with being weak, like completely okay with putting up with people cleaning their feet on you and treating you like a welcome mat, or peeing over your head and making you think it's raining, like, that's the part I can't deal with. But if you're an individual that just never been taught better, or just don't know how, you just don't know how to gather yourself and speak your truth and all of that, I'm your girl. Like, I'll walk you through it. I'll just full on let somebody know it's what's unacceptable and what you're not gonna have. But if you like it, if you okay with it, like if you feel like that makes you sweet or something, I'm not your girl. So I do have a problem with what I perceive to be weakness. Okay, so maybe it's that it's perceived to be weak, or Is it entitlement? Because both of these women are Caucasian. And this is my question. I said all of that to say this. Is there a sense of entitlement we see with a certain race of people where they feel like they have a voice? Now, I've heard people say, with everything that's going on with black men in this country being gunned down and killed, and women in this country at every truck stop, there's all the comedians tell this joke about how when white people get pulled over, it's one thing. When black people get pulled over, it's another. Like how black people talk to the police is one way, but how white people talk to the police is like way worse, but they can get away with it because they white. So that's what I mean. Like, is it this entitlement thing where they feel like, what's the worst could happen? Like, he's just a cop. But we feel like, oh, put your hands, 10 and 2. Let him know you're going to your wallet the whole night. And then, a lot of comedians are like, the Caucasian people be like, what's the problem, officer? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about? Like, why would And the officer just kind of kowtows and let them go on. Like, I know that's not true in every scenario. I'm just saying, you know, what would make a person who knows they're dealing with a psychopath, know they're dealing with a killer, stand in that killer's face and read off all they shit to them and tell them I'm gonna report you and think you can walk out like he's a killer, like he's what I don't you know what so is my perspective off? Like I give me some different scenarios where this type of response is okay. Like the whole the woman on Walker Texas Ranger was a trigger for me because I was like, why the heck he got this whole group of a whole compound of people that he got under his spell. Like, why do you think you can just rattle this off to this man and he gonna let you get in your car? He done already held you overnight. I know it's a TV show. But I keep referencing this true story told in the woman's own voice. You with a serial rapist who has killed the last couple of women he has raped. He got a wife and children, and he's a serial fucking rapist. What? It, he drove you there. That's what it was. He took a claw hammer. The house was being worked on. It's coming back to me now. He took a claw hammer and completely tried to kill her, her own co-worker. He left her for dead in the townhome, in the condo. What made you think you could talk to this dude? Like you know for sure he's the killer. He's the rapist. It's weird. Is it naivete? That's my question. Is it naivete? People just don't know better. Is it adrenaline? People can't control themselves. Or is it this sense of entitlement? Like, how dare you put your hands on me, sir? Like you somehow are exempt from being mollywopped, raped, kidnapped. Where's the self-preservation? That's my question. That's all it is. What do you think gives some people the unmitigated gall to think that they are exempt somehow from being targeted? That's my question. Let me know what you think. That's all I got. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Until next time, honeybees. Ah! Don't forget, answer my question now.